Hello friends, welcome to Magento tutorials. In this video, we will discuss about the plugins. So what is a plugin and what are the different types of plugins are available in Magento? So plugins are the best way to change the behavior of the class methods. It doesn't involve in any conflicts. If you want to implement or change any public methods, you can directly work with plugins. Plugins will not override a class or class methods. Alternatively, it just change the method behavior. So always go with plugins instead of preference. Of course, you can use preference at any point, but make sure it depends on your requirement. Plugin, we can call it as interceptor. It is a class which is used to modify the class methods. Okay, plugins works for the functions which has scope visibility, includes interfaces. Why we need to use plugins in Magento 2? Plugins are the best way to handle class methods and minimize conflicts. One of the reasons for skipping the conflicts is Magento calls plugin in a sequential order. So there is one sort order attribute. We'll discuss about that sort order attribute in the coming section. If you go in deep, for example, if you create one plugin and another developer create plugin for the same method, then Magento process the plugins one after one in a sequential order using sort order attribute in di.xml. Okay. Plugins never works for private methods, final methods, virtual types, or static methods. Okay. Plugins are three types, like before, after, or around. For example, take any default class like Magento, quote, model, quote. So this class might contain public methods. So if you want to change any public methods, for example, let us take this add product. So this add product method will work whenever a customer is trying to add the product to the cart. Now we use the same method to handle the plugins. I already told you that there are three types of plugins: before, after, and around, right? So let us first check with before plugin. So how you can declare this before plugin? Take any method name. Before that method name, add this keyword before. So that would become as a before plugin. So similarly, if you want to create after, add the keyword after. If you want to create around, add the around keyword. Okay. Now go to our code base. This is our module etc.di.xml file. Here we will create one plugin. So how you can declare that plugin? The type with name equals to. So here inside of this name attribute, you have to mention the base class or the parent class which you want to create a plugin for. I will show you one class. You see here, this is a public method. You can take any other public methods and check it. But right now I'm just working on add to cart functionality. Okay, whenever a customer is trying to add the product to the cart, at that time this method will trigger. So I'm writing plugin for this add product method. Because of using this one, you have to use this class, right? So for that, you have to add Magento code, model code, right? Model code. Okay. You have to end this type. Inside of this type, you have to mention the plugin. Okay. Plugin. So name this plugin. So right now I'm creating the before plugin, right? Okay, after that add the type attribute. Now here you have module name, hello world, again, and name of our class. This is the class name for this plugin. Okay, now there are multiple attributes need to consider here. Sort order. So what this sort order represents? Sort order represents when multiple developers working on the same method, then which plugin should serve first and which one should work after that. Okay. And another one is disabled. By default, Magento will provide for the plugins disabled equal to false value. If you don't want to use this plugin, then put this to true. That means this plugin will be disabled. Okay. This way you can disable the plugin and sort the plugins. Now you have to create this class. Already we have this module. Inside of this module, create this plugin folder. And after that, so you have to create this class product.php. Okay. Instead of this plugin. I already have this class. Okay. Now let's go to this class module plugin product.php. So here in this file, you have to initialize one class, that is Magento code model code, because I am creating plugin method in this class. Okay. So Magento code model code. So inside of it, so here we are going to create the plugin method. So how you can declare the before plugin? Add this keyword before of this original method add product. Okay. So this is the subject and these are the parameters. So what this subject means, whatever the plugin you are going to create, the main class, that you have to consider as a subject. Okay. These are the parameters. What I am doing inside of this method, so this request info have some parameters like a quantity, name, etc. So I'm changing that quantity to 5. Okay. And then I'm returning whatever the product info and request info. The product info contains the product information and request info is like whatever the parameters like a quantity in this case. Okay. So you should always send all the data for the before plugin as an array. Okay. Whenever you create a before plugin, so you have to work on the parameters only, you cannot change the result. Okay. So whenever you want to change the parameters, just create this before plugin. After your implementation is done or whatever the changes you made, after that you have to return the data as an array. Okay. Okay, now let's check in the front end that while adding the product to cart, the quantity is changing to 5 or not. Okay. Click on add to cart. See here the quantity, how much it is changed? 5. The before plugin is working. So why this before plugin, why we need to use it? Before plugin will work whenever the original method is called. Before that our custom code will be called. Okay. If you create the before plugin. Okay. Basically whenever this add product method is called, before that this before plugin will be called. Right now we are just changing the parameters what we are sending to the cart. Okay. So plugins will only work for the public methods. Okay. Now so this is all about the before plugin. Now let us consider the after plugin. So how you can create that? For example, whenever you want to change any product name, so how to do that? Magento, change this to catalog model product. Okay. This is after, and this is the same class. Okay. Now use the views catalog model product. Okay. Change this method to after. So go to this Magento catalog model product. There we will find some functions. Magento catalog model product.php. Okay. Here check the name. Get name. You see here, this is also a public function. Right now, I will work on this get name method. Now we will change this product names. Okay, by using this method, by creating some plugin for this method. Now add get name So what are the parameters? Leave this subject as it is and remove these parameters, put this result. Okay, one is the subject, that is a parent class, and the result is whatever the result at the output for this get name method. Okay, now what this after plugin will do, whenever you call this method get name, so after this method is loaded, this method will be called. Okay, previously it is before of the original method, now it is after the execution of the original method. Okay, after the method is returned some data, then we are going to change some data, or that comes in a result. Okay, now we are going to change this result. Whenever you are working with after plugins, that means directly you are modifying the result. Okay, if you want to change the result, then create this after plugin result. So what is the result? See here, product name change, I am adding some text after the product name. Okay, now let's check that it is working or not for this plugin. For that, as I have changed the class name, you have to run di compile. So whenever this original get name method called, so after that our after plugin will be called. See here, product name changed appended to this product name. Okay, this way you can write the after plugin. Okay, now let's consider the around plugin. So around plugins will only be called when there is no way for before and after plugins. Magento recommends not to use around plugins until unless you have no choice while creating plugins. Around plugin, we used it before and after the original methods executed. Let us consider one class. Magento code model code contains add product method, which we used the same for before plugin. Okay, consider this class. Magento code model code class. Okay, so this class contains add product which we used for the before plugin, right? So go to the di.xml. So here we will replace that class Magento code model code, and this is an around. Okay, okay, rest leave as it is. Now go to your plugin class. Here you have to change that to code model code. Okay, so this is around add product, right? Okay, now change this to product info. Another one is request info. Same as like before. Okay, now when we need to pass the callable closure, consider it as proceed. Okay, now we need to change the return value. The around method must return value. Okay, either it is a null, either it is some value. So this around plugin contains this closure method. So what this closure will do, this is the base function which is used to execute the original method. If this method having any issue while executing, so all the subsequent lower priority plugins will be halted. That means that will be not executed. Now inside of this around method, we can consider as like the before plugin, the quantity thing, for example 5. and result. Here we need to pass the proceed method. Instead of this method, we need to pass this product info and request info. Okay. So this around plugin will work based on some condition. Okay. For example, if some condition is true, then we need to add this instead of this true. Otherwise, it will return null. Okay. For the around plugins, we will execute like this. That means if something is false, so that it will return null. Otherwise, it will be executed. See, we will execute something like this. If if that condition is true, then this callable method, whatever the proceed is there, whatever the parameters that we passed to this proceed method, if everything is fine, then this around method will give some result and it will be executed and it allow the original method to execute. Otherwise, it will be halted. So because of this flaw, we will not use this around method. Okay, I hope you understand. So if you have any queries on this plugin, so please add it in the comment section. Basically, there are three types of plugins: before, after, and around. Before will work before the original method is executed, and that too whenever you want to do any parameter changes. So at that time, you use the before method. If you want your method to be executed after the original method, then go for after plugin. So don't use this around plugin until unless there is no choice for before and after. Okay, I hope you understand. In the next video, we will discuss about the observers. Thanks for watching.